Daryl's going to talk about best practices.
Okay. And one of the things is this, one thing, there are a couple of things. One is, Estella said to, go put yourself on mute, but there's going to be times for discussion. So I strongly encourage you to take yourselves off mute and add to the discussion. And also this toolkit itself is a living document, and that we will be adding to it. And part of what we're going to be adding to is input from the chapters. So this is really just a baseline toolkit right now. So, and like I said, we'll add to it. So anyhow, I just want to go through a few best practices for chapters. One of the things is membership engagement is key. We all know that. So members, they should be invited and encouraged to get engaged at the chapter level, as well as at the SWANA level, the international level. But really, really today we're focusing more on engagement at the chapter level. So a couple of things. Chapters should be conducting at least one technical conference or program per year. And this could be a tour of a member facility, demonstrations of new technology, or roundtable work groups on new legislation and programs. So with that, we have our first question for the day. So this is also an interactive session today. So Stella, if you could put up the first question, that'd be great.
Yes. Let's see, this is the first time doing this, so see how it goes. Do you see it?
Not yet.
Not yet? Let's see. I wonder if I have to.
There it is.
You see it?
Yeah. So if you all go ahead and answer this question, that'd be great.
Oh, look at that. Great. Everyone says yes.
This is perfect. Wow, that's great. 14 out of 14 of everyone who responded. So that's great. So my next thing, and this is where I'm asking you to take yourselves off mute. What type of technical conferences or programs did you have during this last year?
Here in New York, we did a virtual one-day conference in the last year.
Great.
In Illinois, we had a morning session where we had speakers come in and talk about pending PFAS regulation in Illinois, and then an afternoon field trip in which we visited a closed landfill with the leachate bioremediation in situ treatment with the poplar trees.
Colorado on-site 2 days.
Sorry, what was that, Lisa?
Colorado on-site 2 days.
Great.
And we also have a question from Lisa in the chat session. This is Andre Owens. I'm monitoring the chat. So Daryl, if you could take a look at that question in the chat session.
Yes. Well, you can just read it, Andre, if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The toolkit is actually, it's up on the site right now, if that's what the question is.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been on the site now for a couple months.
And is there a little blurb about the advantages it gives to members to use, so that I can stick that in my newsletter that's going out this week?
This is really geared for the chapter leaders. Then
For the boards only?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying encouraging members to use. So
no, I'm encouraging chapter.
Thank you.
Encouraging,
that clarifies it.
Yeah, you need to get to encourage membership engagement. Yes.
Hi folks, so Paul Schmidt from the Northern New England chapter. So far this year we had one half-day virtual meeting on actually kind of a unique topic for the challenges of hiring, and that was actually a good broad topic. And we did also a half-day in person that is joint with a couple of other local organizations that covered the status of solid waste, primarily disposal and management in northern New England. There we had speakers from both the regulatory state agencies and industry. So we usually do a third one in the fall that we haven't picked a topic yet for.
Great.
Great. Yeah.
And I know, Gary was one of the first to join, and he has the New Jersey chapter conference next week. So that's great. So moving on is one of the things I want to, just to mention real quickly is my SWANA. And as chapter leaders, you should be utilizing the resources on my SWANA. And so I guess, one thing is every chapter should have a member chair in the chapter executive committee. And this person is a chapter point person regarding membership recruitment and retention. Are there any chapters here that do not have that role of a membership chair? Okay, that's great. And really one of the things is establish and sustain a member retention and member recruitment program. And this is where Estella, Andre, and I are here to assist you. We're here for you. We can assist on any membership recruitment activities that you participate in, that you want to conduct. And then another thing is we strongly encourage the implementation of new member welcome calls on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. And the call should include information on the chapter as well as an invitation to an upcoming chapter event. So my next question, Stella,
Yeah,
is your chapter conducting welcome calls to new members?
okay. You see it?
Can we put that in the chat? Oh,
Do you see the poll?
Not yet.
not yet. No.
Now you, okay, it takes a few seconds for it to open up. Okay.
So this is something that we could all do better on. It looks like only 13%, only 2 chapters are currently doing the welcome calls. We really encourage this. In any one month, most chapters probably get between 5 and 10 new members, and that's a good month. So it really does not take that much time to make those phone calls, and it is something that there's a saying, all politics is local, so all membership is local. So if we could drill down at the chapter level and reach out to the new members, that I really encourage that.
Hey, Daryl, this is David McCary. Not only are we trying to figure that out consistently from the welcome calls, but we're also trying to think about a welcome package that can also follow up with them via email that kind of shares a lot of things that we're working on in the chapter and some of the benefits and opportunities that exist as well. So you're right, you can never do too much of that, but thanks.
I want to, we sent out a new member welcome package, which includes the membership handbook or guidebook.
Right.
And then during the first year of membership, we're sending out a series of new member welcome emails throughout the year, highlighting different aspects of membership and just the different benefits. So, but again, the more that you can do at the local level, like David said, it's
Just a quick answer. Somebody had a question about how to figure out who your new members are. If you could pull up your membership list from the site, you go to the members tab. You just have to sort by join date and you'll see when those members joined.
Can you show that again real quickly?
To find out who your new members are.
Right. You go to members.
Yeah.
Yes, I thank you for the answer. already.
Sure. Thanks.
And then for membership retention, Estella sends out a monthly list of members that are expiring for that month. Again, we encourage you to follow up with those members on the list and to, ask them to renew their membership. And one thing that I want to, I want to mention, at the chapter, you guys are on the ground, and let us know when you hear of personal changes, especially in municipal departments. Because we will make those updates in our database as well. So that's really key. Like if you hear of especially if of a senior level person leaving a department, one, we want to know, if you know where that person went to, that'd be great, but also who replaced that person. So we could do some follow-up. So other things that chapters should be doing include engaging in public advocacy and education efforts, contribute to the chapter leaders e-newsletter. So who read the one that came out yesterday? I'm not gonna do a full survey, but hopefully you saw that we sent it out yesterday afternoon around 2 or 3 o'clock. Again, we encourage you to present and attend these chapter chat calls. So we're not always talking to you. We want to hear from you. We want, really the best way to learn is from your peers. And visit the SWANA chapter officer site where the toolkit is located. This is really the resource page for the officers. And finally, provide feedback to us, to the membership team. You guys have the direct contact with members. We want to hear from you on what you are hearing from members. So again, thank you for the time that you spend as a volunteer leader. We really appreciate that. And now I'm going to pass it on to Tony, who's going to talk a bit about our web resources.
Hi, everyone. In case you don't know me, I'm Tony McFarland, the web guy. I'm basically your point of contact for making your website look as good as it can. I'm going to start out with a batch of questions all at once. Estella, if you could please send that out. Basically, these questions, I'll wait till it pops.
Seems to. There we go.
All right, the first question is, your web secure? Does that mean it uses HTTPS and in the little corner of your website? Let me know whether you know this. Do you use events on your website, an actual calendar with dates and everything? Who updates your website? Do you have the person looking for somebody or nobody? And lastly, do you currently use any of SWANA's RSS feeds? That's the forums, the blogs, events on your website, or do you want to know what an RSS is?
So Tony, let's give everyone a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Questions.
I'm seeing a lot of answers about the RSS feed already. So this was basically a question for me to know if we should still continue publishing our RSS feeds. It looks like a good number of people do. Basically, RSS stands for Real Simple Simplification. It's a feed that can go on, that you can put on your website that will pour the content from our forums, our blog, our news, or events into your website. So if hopefully now you know what an RSS is, and if you're interested in that, give me, contact me and we'll talk more about it.
So let me share the
Awesome.
results if you want to see.
Yes, let's see the results. I think I might have closed it. Stella, could you mind, are you able to pop it up again?
Yeah. Oops. Let's see. Can you see it?
I see it.
Okay.
I don't, I'm sorry.
Can anybody else see it? Or,
Yes, I
Not-
see it.
okay.
Does somebody have like a share results button on it or something?
No. If you want, Tony, I can read to you the
Yes,
answers.
please.
So the first question, 50% said yes. Is your website secure? The other half said, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Please check on that. Get a hold of me if you're having trouble with that. We can work with you to make sure that your site is secure. It's almost a mandate at this point. Google will penalize your website if it's not secure, which means that you won't be getting as good search engine score as you could. So it's fairly important these days to have your website secure.
Okay. So question 2, the answers, do you have a calendar events? 89% said yes. So most everyone said yes.
Good. And if you need help setting one up on your website, please reach out to me. We'll share my contact info at the end of the session.
And then question 3, who currently updates your website? 90% said a designated point person updates the site regularly. One person said everybody pitches in. And somebody else said they're looking for someone.
Okay. Basically, the point of that was to please send my contact information to that person who I can work with to help them work with their website, make sure that it's all up to date and working well.
Okay. The 4th question, do you currently use your RSS feeds? You said you saw that. It looks like one person uses the forum, about 3 people use the news, 6 people use events, and quite a majority, 12 people asked what is RSS, which, yeah.
And just to repeat that again, it's not that you come to SWANA.org and you go to the forums on My SWANA. It's that you actually have a widget on your website that will pour forum content into your website. Yes, and I'm seeing that now. Yeah, a good third of people. And again, if you need those kinds of things, if you want our news feed to show up on your site, or you want our calendar of events to pour into your calendar of events, you would use the RSS feed and you'd reach out to me to make that happen. I will share my contact information right now. And that's T. McFarlane at SWANA.org. Also, you can reach me through the contact page of our website, and I'm usually lurking on the little chat you see at the bottom of the screen sometimes. So please feel free to just chat me up right there.
Tony, Gary has a question. He wants to know if they should link the SWANA New Jersey site to the national site. Would they contact you for that?
Yes, please reach out to me to coordinate that. It isn't really a big lift. It's basically putting the link there, but we can talk about where and how that should go.
Yeah, we do a good job of posting our own chapter stuff, or the Mid-Atlantic Regional Rodeo, the MOLO training, but not, we fill in the blanks with everything going on national level. So we'll be in touch, Tony. Thank you.
My pleasure. Estella, would you mind scrolling up the page a little bit? I just want to share some of the other best practices that we encourage to put on the page. A link to the membership application PDF form or the join page. Please make sure that that's on your website. What was the other one? Providing information on the YP program and other training programs. We had a discussion earlier with the technical division about some special training operations. If you want to work with us to your website, please reach out to me. Oh, I'm seeing a very interesting comment from Denise Wessels about removing email addresses from for your chat leadership because they're always getting spam. I know a way to fix that. Send me an email query about that, and I will show you some tricks that you can use to encrypt your email addresses on your website so that they can't be grabbed by spammers, but they can still be used for your mission.
Yeah, Tony, it looks like that's happened to quite a few.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Could you
Good.
go into that, Tony, quickly?
Yes, yes. What that makes me think that I should make a note to put something on the chapter officer's site about that. I can actually give instructions pretty easily for encrypting web email links on your website. So I will put together something, an article to put.
Is it more complicated than just replacing @ with @ and dot with DOT?
Yeah, it's a little more complicated than
That's
that.
fine then.
You
Don't worry.
actually
You don't have to-
paste in a little JavaScript snippet. I'll see there's some easier ways and some harder ways, but basically what it does is it encrypts the email address so that bots who
I get it.
addresses won't find it.
Thank you.
And while we're on the subject, are there any other general questions that you might have about your website that you've been waiting to ask?
Don't forget to unmute if you have a question. So. If you come up with it later, you could always email me or Tony. He put his email in the chat.
And we can follow up again at the next meeting as well, if something comes to you over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, if you have a specific question and something you want Tony to explain to you, we can talk about that at the next chat. So, okay. Tony, is there anything else you wanted to talk about websites?
Not that I can recall off the top of my head. I think that we pretty much covered it.
Okay. Well, then before I talk about protocols and policies, let's take a quick commercial break, and we have Jesse Maxwell, who is going to talk about something for a few minutes. Take it away, Jesse.
Thank you, Estella. I appreciate it. I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk to this group about the SWANA Safety Awards, which we've opened up at the moment. And I'll show you.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yep.
Great.
There we go. So the SWANA Safety Awards are, as many of you know, an awards program that we've held for many years now. We'll be holding them again. The submissions will be accepted from April 1st through July 1st. We are seeking submissions from all over North America in 3 different categories. One is COVID-19 resiliency. So this is to recognize those programs that have moved on from just reacting to the pandemic to actually putting in proactive programming to deal with the pandemic and other health-related issues. And we're also seeking biggest safety improvement, which is obviously, as it sounds, a demonstrated ability to have made a large improvement in your safety numbers, however you measure those. And then biggest safety innovation is the 3rd category. We're looking for creative, new, interesting safety programs that have been implemented. There's no entry fee for this awards program. The person who submits does need to be a SWANA member, however. We will be, as I said, accepting submissions through July 1st, so there's still plenty of time. And then we'll announce the winners in September and have the awards program at WasteCon in San Diego. So what I ask you all to do as chapter leaders is to help get the word out about this program. Put it on your websites, bring it up at your meetings, whether in person or virtual, and let people know about this opportunity. You can find out more on the SWANA website at swana.org/safety. But anything you can do to encourage people from your chapter to participate in this would be really great. If they have any questions about the program, or if you have questions, feel free to get in touch with me. But I'll ask now, any initial questions about this program? Okay. Well, I'll be on for a little while longer, so if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat box and I can respond there. Thanks, Estella.
Thank you, Jesse. So let me share my screen again. Oh, it's about to kick me out. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to talk quickly. We have about 10 minutes left about the protocols and policy as part of the toolkit. I'm not going to go through all of this because most of you know these sections. This is split up into 5 parts, which talk about what a chapter must do to stay in good standing with SWANA. So I'm just going to highlight some of the items for you. Like under organization and governance, the first 3 items, those refer to amendments to bylaws or articles of incorporation. So any proposed changes need to be submitted to our general counsel for review. And once it's finalized, you need to file a copy of any amendments to your bylaws with our general counsel. Okay. And then the last part about member SWANA, we just ask that you provide us any changes to your officers as soon as you have your elections and your term date. So that way I can make changes to our records. That would give you access to the chapter officer site, and you would also get important notifications from me or from SWANA on a regular basis. And it's also important to have a current president with good term dates, because we use that information for the chapter contact page on swana.org site. And that way, if a member wants to contact the chapter, that information is there for them. So I know that on the progress reports, you send me that board information, which is great. But if you have a change throughout the year or at after your elections, if you can just send me that information so I can make the updates, that would be great. Even if it's mid-year, somebody drops out and you get somebody new. Government filings. So I send out the finance and progress reports towards the end of the year, which thank you for sending those in on a timely basis. Submitting these reports is important, especially for the finance reports, because I use this information to submit to the IRS for the exception filing, which is due at the end of March. And if your chapter has made more than 50,000, it is noted in the filing. And in that case, your chapter needs to submit a form 990. And once I submit that, I send a notice to those chapters, just to let you know. Association filings. This has to do with the finance and progress reports, which has to do with the IRS exemption filing. I have a quick question. I'm still trying to find the right format for these progress reports. This year I used SurveyMonkey. In the past, I've used Word. I've used PDF fillable file. If you have any suggestions on what's the easiest and best way for you to fill these reports out, please let me know. I know the SurveyMonkey isn't perfect, and I know the PDF isn't perfect. So if you have any suggestions, I'd greatly appreciate it. So we can, because I just want to make these reports as easy as possible for you to fill out. For the membership services, Daryl briefly talked about this, about best practices, having at least one technical conference or program a year, keeping your members informed. Send us your events so we can add it to the calendar. That helps members see what's going on throughout the year, not just with us, but with the chapters. And also keep your websites updated. Like Tony was saying, if you need help with that, definitely reach out to him. And chapter director participation. All of these policies are located in the e-library on my SWANA, and they're also on the chapter site. So if you have any questions about that, definitely you can look it up, or you can ask me and I can send that to you. So Gary says PDF fillable file. Okay. And Stephanie wants to know how the reports are used. We use those kind of to see what trends are happening with the chapters, see if there's anything that you need from us. If we notice any trends or any common questions or comments, it helps us see what you need from us and how the chapter is doing as a whole. And if there are any questions that you feel we should be asking, definitely let us know. This year we tried to remove some of the same questions that we ask year after year to try and reduce the report, because I know the report can be long. But if you notice, if you have any suggestions on how to make it easier, how to get rid of some of those questions, how to make it more efficient, definitely let us know. Now's the perfect time to start doing this, because I'll be working on the report in October to send out in November. So, do you have any questions or comments? And I will have to say that one good thing about the SurveyMonkey is I can easily pull up trends and reports. And once I get that finalized, I can always share that with the chapters. Okay.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for your attendance and participation today, and get ready for part 2 next month. It's gonna be really exciting. And you know, again, we are here, the 3 of us are here as a resource for you, and you know, feel free to call us, contact us whenever you have any questions, anything regarding, you know, membership retention, membership engagement.
Yeah, if you have any ideas on how we can change the format somewhat, you know, we'd be glad to hear those as well. Again, please consider the membership staff as your resource.
And Stephanie, I will go ahead and post the links to how to access the toolkit. And I could also send everyone a PDF version of it as well. Okay. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Have a great day. Hey, Art.
Thanks.
Thank you.